Welcome to Split the Defense.
Split the Defense.
LEAFS Postgame Edition. Split the Defense is presented by LaForest Electrical Contractors. Professional and efficient service since 2004, serving the Kingston and surrounding areas. Alongside co-host Craig Pearce and producer Ted Evans, here's your host, Jordan Webster.
What up, what up? Welcome to Split the Defense LEAFS postgame. I'm Webby, here with CP and producer Ted in the booth. LEAFS break a 6-game home losing streak to St. Louis, and everything was coming up Bobby McMahon tonight, who wasn't even supposed to play in this game, but he drew in because of illness, coming up with his first career hat trick, doubling his season goal total in one game. McMahon has now tied Domi and Gregor in goals and is one behind Tyler Bertuzzi. Thank you, Justin Bourne, for that stat. That bank in for the hat trick goal, buddy, that was chef's kiss. That was, I love that. He's got to be a pool shark, that guy. That was beautiful. Like, I didn't think it had a hoping chance in hell to go in. And as soon as it banked off the wall, I was, oh my God, it's got a chance. And he couldn't chase it down. It goes in. Toronto had every reason to lose this game tonight, buddy. Isn't it the leafiest thing for them to play like they did and come back and win? Like, lots of injury and illness for the Leafs. I mean, we'll get into that. We're reflecting against the game against St. Louis Blues. First, take a second. Drop a like on this episode, subscribe to our YouTube, rate it 5 stars on whatever podcasting platform you're listening to. Leave us a comment while you're here if you're listening. Afterwards, we like to answer comments too, so leave us a comment. We'll answer every single one we can. Leaf scores tonight. McMahon had 3. His first career hat trick, as we said. Very lucky bounce for Nylander early in the game too. And big boy Torpchenko had goal for the other team. That was the goals tonight. Ended 4-1. What did you think of that, CP?
Oh, man, like, that was a good game. I fully enjoyed that from start to finish. I like, you called this at the beginning. Like, I think everyone who's a Leaf fan knew that this was coming. Whenever they're down some of their best players, they always seem to step up. Like, they somehow have a winning record and like a really good one without Austin Matthews. So like, I'm not really surprised that some of the other guys are out and they step up. Even last year, they were like, or was it the year before? Either way, there was a long period where we were without Morgan Rielly, and it was like, it was the best defense that the team had seen in that whole period. And I mean, it's nothing against those guys, you know, like, it's just it's a mentality of like next man up, stepping up into a position that you're not normally in. It's a little more exposure, and I don't know, guys just play way better. So, yeah, I loved it.
It's got something to do with the fact that, like, you rely on the big boys to do the heavy lifting when everybody's there and healthy and rolling. And when they're not, then the other guys have to get in and step up. And this has been said throughout, you know, show after show that you're going to watch, and everybody's going to say this, and that's just how it is. And if these guys in that room can figure that out, they're going to be unstoppable. Because if they can just band together like this when everybody's healthy, fuck, we have a hell of a team. Like, there's a hell of a team here. If they can play like this without Mitch Marner, without John Tavares, the team looked good tonight. They played good, solid hockey. They didn't make a lot of stupid plays. Not a lot of chancy bullshit that they normally do. And they forechecked really, really well. So, I mean, if they can play like that with the big boys here, you can't see very many teams taking them in the East.
Yeah, the big thing that jumped out was the defensive play to me. And then, like, I'm going to say that, like, St. Louis didn't have their best game. And like, they're probably going back to the locker room, like, they're kicking themselves, not necessarily giving a lot of credit to the Leafs, but it's definitely both. Like, there wasn't like hardly any like mistakes. No one left out front. Even like the goal where it's tipped in front, like, Liljegren's in the proper position. He has the man. He had just stick checked him. Like, just some of those are going to go in. It was kind of a little bit of a soft one from Sammy. So, like, yeah, I don't know. It was all around. They just played on the right side of the puck for most of the night. I got a little nervous coming into the third because the first shift was just horrible, and like, they started cheating right away, and it's like we're winning here.
Like, the beginning of the second was like that too.
Yeah, it's just like, come on, like, this is how this team kind of is. But I just loved the part of like there was always an F3 around. Like even when there was a pinch, like Bertuzzi tonight just stood out as he was doing everything right. He totally deserved a goal. He's the most cheated player in the league at this point because I mean he could have had at least like 2. Like he had about 4 good chances tonight, and at the same time always playing on the right side of the puck defensively. And I actually really love that Domi, Bertuzzi, Robertson line tonight.
I actually really like that too. I wanted to bring that up. Yeah, like I think that's something that they could look at going forward. Except for Max Domi looks so good that like you almost want to see him play higher. Like I almost want to see like Max Domi tonight career high skates 1809. He's been 1803. He's been trending up game after game, getting more minutes and more minutes. Like do we see him play with Matthews and Marner? Because I don't think that Matthew Knies should be married to that line. I think that you should be open to trying something to see if it can be even better. And Domi every time he's on the ice with Mitch Marner, he looks good. So
yeah, I like the nice thing is that we're seeing that Holmberg can hold down a 4th line center position. Camp is like he did great tonight as a 3C, and so that if Tavares comes back, that relieves you of needing another centerman. So like you do have that flexibility to put him on the wing somewhere. I would just say like if you maybe treat it as like 3 even lines, and you're putting like William Nylander on that right wing instead of Robertson, and then it's Domi, Willie and Bertuzzi. Like I'd like to see maybe that if you're talking about moving them up. Just like it's more of 3 more even line, or like I guess it's like a 2A and a 2B.
I'd really like to see Domi with Matthews and Marner. Like
I would too, for sure.
That's what I want to see happen next. Like I mean, you can try Bertuzzi, and I mean, I think Bobby McMahon should get some more minutes at this point. Look at the guy go.
Yeah.
Like, you got to try new things. John Tavares coming back, like I said in earlier episodes, you can't just be giving guys shit. Like, I get John Tavares as John Tavares. He does things very, very well. But maybe let other guys have a chance, because when he's not there and he's not doing this work, these guys are really fucking showing up.
Yeah. I want to jump back to your Matthew Knies point. And, like, he has kind of been married there. And it's not that he's been playing, I don't want to say he's been, like, terrible. Like, he plays that spot, like, fairly decently. But I do think that he's been kind of glued there when he's not really producing points wise, and I would like to see that position rotate a bit more, and then so back to Tavares, like in my Leafs group chat, like everyone's saying trade Tavares, and like I know they don't really understand the part of like he's got a no trade clause, and that's just not going to happen.
That's not how it works.
But it's like. Yeah, it's no secret that like he is kind of losing a step, and the things that he does really well, he can accomplish as a winger. You can be a net front presence as a winger, right? And so like maybe there's spots where you're like kind of swapping in Domi and Tavares and whatever it is that seems to work. But I guess it's also though like I don't want to be married to the bottom 6 tonight, because they did play great tonight, but like. It's not necessarily, I think, like what you want to go to in the playoffs. So there's a little bit there where like people are going to get bumped around just based on the players coming back. Like we'll see how long this illness goes on for. Like I'm hoping it's really quick and it's not like Connor Timmins has mono,
yeah,
and like out indefinitely, which doesn't mean like it could be like a couple weeks, but like I had mono and like wow, like I couldn't believe going and playing hockey after having mono. Like that, it takes a long time to recover. So like, yeah, hopefully it's not something like that and it's just quick. We're getting these guys back. But it was just at least like, I don't know. It was kind of, I was a little bit excited. Not that people were sick, but just to see like, I love to see
a new look. And I get that. And that's what I was saying too. And I think that's what everybody else was too. I think these guys, they want the bigger spot. Right? Like they want the opportunity to show that they can play. They don't want to have to be married to a bottom 6 role, a 4th line role. They want to show that they are better than that, because these guys, a lot of these guys that have been playing in the AHL as well, they've been playing in top roles. They're used to being the top guy in a hockey game. Now I know that it's in a different league, but it's still just a hockey game. And in a hockey game, when they're used to being involved in, they're used to going out there and doing shit. So when they get 4, 5, 6 minutes on the ice, they can't perform. And that's understandable. It's really exciting to see some of the talent that we actually have. I mean, like at the beginning of the game, we had Connor Timmins. He has mono. He's listed out indefinitely. Kampf and Giordano were back, so that's good. Martin Jones day-to-day, so Hildeby's in for a backup. Then you also got Callie Yarncroke's moved to LTIR today, so he's going to be out for a little while longer. And our eyes already been out for 10 days or whatever. So
that's
I mean,
retrospectively, like that. The 10 days has been out already count though. So
yeah, exactly. So I mean, there was lots of new faces, and of all those new guys tonight, who was your favorite?
I mean, honestly, like my regular favorites stood out to me, like Benoit and McCabe. I felt like
the new guys.
Oh, the new guys. I mean, like
Steve's Holmberg. You know, we're throwing
Holmberg
McMahon, Robertson. He's not always in. Like the switchables.
To me, like Steve's would be the one that like I would drop down to not as noticeable, but like the other three definitely noticeable. Like obviously Bobby McMahon gets a hat trick. How can you not notice him? And Holmberg he's doing everything that like the opposite of what I said he was going to turn into. And by this time previously, we would have seen a drop off in his play. And
I've always loved Holmberg.
Yeah, that was kind of always the thing with him is he always showed up really well for like say his first 5 games, and then you saw a drop off from there. And like you're just like he's definitely gotten better. He's way better like making skilled plays. He's not the like David Camp that I thought he was. Like he actually has real hands. He's almost better with one hand than with two. We see him make one-handed plays all the time. So
I know that whole streak of 2 weeks where he just worked with one hand like a magician.
Yeah.
To jump back to Alex Steves, he only played 9 minutes and 19 seconds. That's the lowest on the team. He played less than Ryan Reeves tonight. Now Ryan Reeves only played 9 minutes and 33 seconds, but still 9 minutes and 19 seconds. How much you expect to see from the kid? And that's the kind of shit I'm talking about. Why wouldn't you try him a little higher? I get that you're trying to get other guys going. And maybe that's where I'll segue into Tyler Bertuzzi. Buddy, I feel fucking bad for Tyler Bertuzzi at this point. I'm not even mad at him. Like, Bert's luck is the worst thing in the whole entire world for him. Like, nobody expected this. He never expected this. We never expected this. He's been winning his minutes this year by Corsi for, shots for, goals for, expected goals for, by plenty. Anything you'd be satisfied by. And he can't get a fucking goal to go in the net. He can't buy a goal. He can't go to the store and purchase a goal from the store, the goal store. Sir, can I please buy a goal with this good green money? And they say, no, fuck your money. You can't have one. It's not good for Tyler Bertuzzi right now, man. Like, he's got like, I don't even know, he's got 4 goals this year. He's got 7 goals this year or something like that. Like, I don't know. It's unbelievable.
I don't even know, but like, it's funny because at the first part of this big slump, because like at the beginning of the year, he was kind of putting up points here and there, right? Nothing special. Definitely like we always, I think, knew that he was going to underperform what like the hype was from the summer. Like no one can live up to what the hype was around Bertuzzi coming into this year. But he kind of like settled in a spot that was okay for the beginning. And like you said, just like he was winning his minutes, so it was fine. And now that like he's kind of been on this crazy slump, it makes you focus in on him more. Right. And it's like I watch him like a hawk, and he is never doing the wrong thing.
Everybody
like
is.
Maybe when he's gassed, like it's just like anyone, but he's still getting back faster than someone like William Nylander is. So like he to me is just like a total all around player who like you could probably slot into a like defensive line role. Like if he's obviously can produce on a power play, but he's just the second half of it's just not coming, and it's going to. Like I'm just at that point now where like tonight it showed there was 4 chances where like he should have had 2 at least.
And that's the thing. He's around it. Like he's constantly around it. It's not like he's playing like shit. It's like, holy, this guy, he deserves one. Even if 1 or 2 of those like 8 or 10 chances went in and he had assists to fill the rest, like Max Domi, I wouldn't be upset. But he's around it so much with this puck not going in. Like you got to wonder when this shit's going to change.
His like shooting percentage must be just like historic low at this point. Like we're going like close to a point where like he gets a lot of shots and like he hasn't scored in how long? Like he must be at like a 2% shooting percentage or something for a guy that's supposed to be a scorer. Like it's insane.
I know he's supposed to be able to pot goals in front of the net, and like it's not like he's been lacked opportunities.
No.
I don't really have much else on this game specifically. What else do you want to talk about from this game?
I guess like maybe the TJ Brody would be like the first thing that jumps out at me. Seeing him play on the left side was just a breath of fresh air. I mean, I noticed it instantly where it's just he has a whole new arsenal of tools that he can use. And I just feel like he's been like handcuffed this entire time. And so it gives me a little bit of hope that once if this, team will go out and get a right shot defenseman.
You know who did look good on the right tonight? It was Gio.
Yeah, you are.
I didn't hate it. I liked him on the right in the third pair. I didn't hate it.
I just wouldn't get it. It's perfect for me because, yes, he looks fine there. And so then as a seventh defenseman, it's perfect because he can go in on either side when you need him to. And so, but I don't want to get, tied to Gio playing on the right at this point because, we just need right shots. Some of these left-handed guys just aren't going to make it into the lineup. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I know. And you're right about watching TJ Brody play. When he's on his proper side, he's so much more comfortable. And it's understandable so.
Of course.
You really want to see that right shot D come in. Fuck, I wish they didn't want a first pick for Chris Tanev. Chris Tanev fits this team so good, they know it. Calgary knows it, and that's why they're just dangling. Just here, you want a Chris Tanev? It's going to cost you 1 first-round selection.
It's actually, the price is a second. It's just the Leafs don't have one, and they,
no.
For a first,
2/3.
It's you don't want to give up a
3/4. What does that work out?
Yeah,
to?
They don't want it. The thing is Chris Johnson was talking about the difference between trading for a player and trading for a pick, right? And so and a pick is just so easy to write off with a fan base that it was worth it, and you don't have to talk about it for years down the road of whether it was an even trade or if you won it or not. It's just you just get rid of the player and its assets down the line, and your fan base isn't talking about who won the trade or not. And so I feel that's a place where Calgary is right now. It's just we don't want your guys that are worth a second. We don't want 2/3 that's maybe worth a second. We want a second. We need to write an article about we got a second. It's just
okay.
So
PR move.
Yeah, big time. And I feel the Leafs now are trying to make a bigger trade with Calgary that's worth a first. That comes with, and I think they've been working on that for a long time. It's just,
if it's going to be a forward, it can't be Noah Hanifin. It makes no sense for it to be Noah Hanifin unless Jake McCabe's going back the other way.
Yeah,
and
I 100% agree.
It makes no sense. And Jake McCabe's great, but it makes no sense because he's got to be in your top 4 if he's going to be on the Leafs. You can't put him down in the bottom pairing. So who's the forward that's going to come back from Calgary, you think? Because I can't think of one that I like that will play center for us.
I don't know. The only one that I would want is Backlund, and he just signed a bigger
captain.
contract. Yeah, and he's the captain. So
he's not going anywhere.
I know. So I don't really as centerman. Sure, I'd love Kadri, but that doesn't fit cap wise. It's just I'm not sure who that guy is that I want, but it's just. And actually, let's talk about Kadri. He actually came out and said he doesn't want to be on a rebuild. And so I don't think he's going to end up with the Leafs, but I think that they got to have a bigger talk there. That was just this year he said that I'm not part of the rebuild. That's not why I signed in Calgary. So I mean, someone should go out and get Kadri. I think that's a good idea. But
someone should. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Someone.
Yeah, I knew
who has
gonna
that
be there.
amount of money to spend?
I don't know. We could find some space. I think bring him
Could you
back in the
imagine?
Burgundy. Oh, Mike.
That
Oh,
would make me
yeah.
so happy. Actually,
Welcome
We all
home.
to
drool.
Colorado.
Let's go do it again.
If it's not going to be the Leafs, I'd like it to be Colorado. But
Yeah, me too. Absolutely. Yeah, I love Naz. He's my dog's name's Naz.
yeah.
But
yeah.
I'd
awesome.
love him back in the Leafs. I can't see it ever happening. But okay, so now we've done the bullshit. Realistically, if we're gonna go a bigger trade, you're telling me there's a bigger trade in the works, and it's gonna be Tanev and what is the and?
Yeah, I honestly I don't have the answer for you. If it was Mangiapane, the guy that's underperforming and could possibly go somewhere else, but he is a winger, but I mean, it's we haven't had left wingers that's really performing well, so maybe that is something.
Yeah, so
but
why don't we add another one?
yeah, what about Hanifin actually, to go back to that, because you say you have to move out McCabe, but McCabe's playing on the right side for us, really, and so it doesn't solve.
We just talked about getting guys on there.
I know,
On the
but
right
like
shot, like okay.
that's just like that is a big improvement.
So then where does
move.
TJ Brody play?
Yeah, just back on the right, I guess. So yeah, let's not go there. So I don't know. I would maybe like to see them just do something like that gives the team more right shots. And it doesn't have to be the top guy on the board like Tanev, but just like another guy that shoots right. Let's try and shuffle this up where, Brody is playing with Liljegren and, we have someone to play with Riley that's, capable. Doesn't have to be Chris Tanev, but need someone capable at least.
So it looks like every single Leafs line won their minutes tonight.
Yeah.
Handily.
Sure.
Easily. Yeah. Obviously.
The only one is
line.
Domi
That's
line
fancy
kinda gave
stats.
up
We're not
some-
talking about goals because obviously they scored 4, the other team scored 1. But who do you think was the best line tonight?
I don't know. I feel like the Matthews line kind of actually did a good job, even though they didn't produce as much. But
Yep, they
Oh,
led
oh,
expected
nice.
goals for. And
so look up Domi's line and the chances, like the high danger
Corsi for.
chances for. Because like I feel like the Domi line, they were really good offensively, but there was also quite a few like
5-4.
Oh,
they
okay,
They
yeah.
had 5, gave up 4.
See, and that would be the identity of that line, right? It's just like they're gonna get their chances,
live
but
by the gun, die by the gun.
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so that makes sense. So we had Alex Steves, Pontus Holmberg, Ryan Reeves. They played a total of 7 minutes and 51 seconds as the fourth line, and their expected goals for was 62%. Their Corsi for, which is how often that they carried the puck out of their zone comparatively to how much often it got carried in, was 53%. So that's good. They won their minutes. Everybody won their minutes. So that was like the worst one of it all. So, I mean, the Leafs owned. They dominated. The last thing that I really want to get into, unless you have something else on the game here. Do you have anything else to talk about in the game?
I was just like, Samsonov actually, like, he didn't have to do a lot of work, but I didn't see a lot of scrambling. So, like, I don't want to talk about it too much, but it was just nice to see that there was a lot of calmness in him tonight, even though he kind of had one that, like, squeaked through him, but other than that. But that's the last thing I think I have on the game.
Okay. So it's not been fully released yet, I guess, but every reporter's had it, and it's leaked, and it's out there. Mo gets 5 games.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
I mean, like, it's going to get reduced. It's not a 5-game suspension. I would be okay with, like, even 4, I would just be like, okay, like, I mean, it's pushing it, but, like, 2 or 3 seemed like the perfect number to me. I felt like it was more than your average
we
1.
make these numbers up from, like,
Because it's like
2. Like Matthews cross check, I guess because he saw it coming. Like, I really don't fucking know where they make all this stuff up from. It's just like, don't do it. Just don't do it. What do you like? You just give them 5. Like, that's just they're just gonna throw a number into a hat, fucking pull it out. Yep, that's the one. And then we got to put tax on it. If it's too low, we got to put tax on it because they're in Toronto and everybody sees it, right?
Seems like it, yeah. I think that, like, he was getting the hearing and I thought it was going to be 6, I was like, this is, like, how ridiculous. Because the Perron one was, like, directly to the face.
The wrong guy, too.
And the wrong guy, yeah. And, like, this one's, like, he does hit him in the shoulder first and it rides up into his head. And to me, that's like a 2-game suspension, but the Leafs tax makes it a 3. But that's just me going by the funny math that the NHL sets for us. So, like, I don't know. It should be, like, plain as day. But
when somebody says that the stick hit the shoulder and it rode up into the head, it sounds like you tripped, slipping, your dick fell in. Like, buddy,
it wasn't that.
It doesn't sound like a fucking accident. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you say it like that, they hit him in the shoulder, but it rode up to his head. Well, it hit him in the fucking head, man. Like, you were careless.
Yeah.
It's like,
well, that's why it's a suspension.
I didn't mean to drive into the telephone pole, officer. I was just doing 160 kilometers an hour at an 80. Like, yeah, no, but like, you did fucking stupid shit. Like, that's what I know.
Yeah, but that's what the
bad
suspension
shit happens.
is for. That's why it's a suspension. Like, I don't think anyone can argue that. But, like, if it was just on the arm, like, it wouldn't be a suspension. So, like, I think that, like, yeah, it's just the argument of, like, there's so many arguments to make here based on just, like, the NHL is just a poor league at this type of situation. Everything's a judgment call, and, like, and now it's in Bettman's hands, and I don't know if, like, he's not going to rule favorably on the Leafs. Like, he doesn't like us, so.
Listen, the
know.
big thing with Ridley Gregg was he fuck around and find out, right? He fucked around and he found out. And so did Morgan Riley.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
He fucked around and he found out. He got 5 games, and it's not the end of the world. He lost like 150 grand. The guy's fucking loaded. It sucks. It's still 150 G's, but like, whatever. He sent a message. It had to be sent. Obviously, he didn't want to check him in the head, but he doesn't have as much experience doing shit like that as Ryan Reeves. And Ryan Reeves wasn't out on the fucking ice because, like, let's be all god honest, as awesome as he is to have there, he's not some fucking enforcer guard dog you can send out to sick. The guy's there for fucking radio duty and pure vibes and to break the fucking curse in this room because there's some shit going on behind the scenes. It's just fucking with the Leafs. It's not the shit on the ice that's the problem, right? That's not why Reeves is there. So you're talking about, you know, like, obviously somebody like Reeves, if they had an enforcer experience, would go and know how to handle that situation better. Mo, never doing that, not taking a penalty till like 2 games ago, hasn't a fucking clue how to go into this thing, and fucks it all up and gets himself a suspension. Fuck around, find out. So, I mean, 5 games, whatever. I honestly, like, everybody's got their 2 cents on how many games they think it should be, and like, I just think there needs to be a fucking precedent set. Like, there's gotta be some sort of, and it's gotta be public too. That's the only way it's held accountable. Because if they say, oh well, we do have a precedent behind the law, well, nobody understands it. Explain it, because it looks like you're making it up as you go at this point.
Yeah,
Well,
it's got to be a number of factors, right? They got to factor in how much time's left in the game, how intent. So they probably have a whole rubric of things. Exactly.
We should see that shit.
I know, and
that
we should see it. You're right.
Sense.
It should be public, 100%.
And the thing is, there's like a precedent set based on the like what we've seen on video and what suspensions they've given, but like the precedent isn't followed because they don't ever match. You know, like, we could go back and find something like almost identical to what Riley did, but like, it's not going to match the suspension he got because they're all over the place always.
The Department of Player Safety video that comes out for this is going to be just as fucking brutal as the rest of them. It's going to be like, we gave it to him because he cross-checked him in the head. As you can see in this video, he clearly cross-checked him in the head. It's like, yeah, fuck, okay, like,
thank you.
What? Like, what? Yeah, the worst explanation in the whole entire world for why they chose the amount of time they did or the fine that they did in these situations. They're just like, here's what happened and here's why we know why. We don't know why you chose the discipline that you chose. We're not asking about the crime. We're asking about the disciplinary action. What the fuck are you doing behind the scenes? How are you making these decisions? And my whole point of that is, like, everybody's got their 2 cents on how many games it should be. And I'm just like, I don't fucking know. I don't know.
Yeah, fair. Yeah.
I don't know whether it's worth 1, 3. Like, it was an accident. Okay, so it's 1. But he wasn't paying attention. Okay, so it's 6. It's like, so, like, what are you doing? Like, you know what I mean? Like, where the fuck do we stand on this, right? Somewhere in the middle. Okay, well, then it's got to be in the middle, so it's 3. It's like, okay, you know what? I don't fucking know, and it's going to be somewhere, and that's not my decision. End of the day is the Leafs can survive these next 5 games without Morgan Riley. It's not going to be the end of the world.
No, yeah, and like, I actually like the Paul Bissonnette look at it. Is like, they're gonna go 4-1, and it's gonna be motivation for the team, and they'll win the East in the playoffs. Which, like, I don't know, I don't want to look too far ahead, but like, I think it is kind of good for these type of situations where you got to kind of rally as a team, even if it is without like a couple of your star players. And you know, when they come back, hopefully you can continue that into like them joining you as well, and it's kind of just, you know, train keeps on rolling. So hopefully that's the scenario, but they got to play hard.
God news, David Alter tweets, Sheldon Keefe says Brad Treliving is going to address the media tomorrow regarding the Morgan Riley suspension. So I wonder what they will say about that. They don't normally do that, do they?
No. I wonder if we have a fine heading our way. Maybe he's got a very public opinion.
I don't know if Tree's got that in him, but that would be,
I hope so,
fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
But yeah, for a press conference over the Riley suspension, I wonder if they're going to say they're going to appeal. I wonder if he's going to make a stink. That's definitely something to check into.
Because if you don't have a strong opinion, like, what are you going to do other than tell us all the information we know?
We already know.
And then answer the questions and just give all that information again. So, like, there has to be something brewing here. Other than, like, maybe he tells us that there's an appeal, which, like, isn't public, but like that can take, you could tweet that. I don't need that in a press conference. So yeah, that'll be interesting.
Yeah. So let's go through Twitter. What do we got on Twitter here? Doesn't look like.
Actually, I'm kind of excited while you look through Twitter. I'm excited to hear that actually, because Brad Treliving's always a good interview. Like, he loves the media. He gets buddy with everybody, and the more we see him, the more like, dude. Oh yeah, he's a really chill dude. For someone who's just like so super loaded, unrelated to hockey, like he just seems like such a cool guy you'd actually want to have a beer with. And I love his backpack. I can't wait for him to walk in with his backpack, hopefully.
Yeah, I know. He comes in like totally is like, hello, fellow kids.
Oh, yes.
Like, yeah.
I'm going to sit down and put my backpack down.
Yeah. Hello, fellow hockey folk. I'm just here to join you. Yeah. No, I mean, smart man for sure. It's just the look of a grown man in a suit with a backpack is just fantastic. I love it. I appreciate it. I will also sport the same look. Doesn't look like we have much else except for the fact that Bobby McMahon is just an absolute stud. It says Bobby McMahon says guys were joking with him on the bench after getting the hat trick, and they said, this is the standard now. This is how you have to play every night.
That's good. I mean, obviously they're kidding, but yeah, I mean, there's been kind of like, we've talked about it before, where like Bobby McMahon does have a little bit more of a scoring touch than he's displayed.
He does, man. His second shot tonight, he fucking sniped it. That was a real nice one. Like, he just turned around on that and sniped it in the back of that. I don't even think the goalie thought he was going to shoot it. I don't think anybody thought he was going to shoot it, because most people in that position would collect themselves and make a pass to try and get a good shot off. He takes it, turns, and fires and finds the back of the net. He does have a shot on it. 27 years old and just breaking in or not. There's late bloomers, and he might be a guy. Even if he only, like... There's actually like a, I don't know what you call it, like a theory. There's like a chart. I don't know what you call it. But the guys that come in earlier that are good play longer. Guys that come in later play shorter. That's usually how guys' careers go. So like if you don't normally make the NHL till you're about 25, your career is going to be shorter than a guy who makes the NHL at around 22 or 23, right? And that's just how the statistics have worked out. Isn't that just math? No, I mean later in your years. So you're going to play later, like past 30. And that's because if you were good earlier, your skills probably translate further into your game later on. Right. Yep. But I wonder, even if you get 3 good years or 4 good years out of Bobby McMahon, like what if this is just the beginning and he peaks next year or the year after that? You've got a 20-goal Bobby McMahon, and we're talking about, we're going to have to give Bobby McMahon so much money. We're going to have Nick Kypreos making up how much money he's going to make.
Play in he's going to be
draft picks. He's going to be playing in Edmonton for like $4.5 million or something. Like by then it'll be 6. Like, I don't know.
I'll welcome this situation. If he gets to a point where someone's going to pay him 4.5, that means that we got at least a good year out of him. So
he's got the potential. If anything, he has the potential to have that happen.
20 is pushing it. Like if he could be a 10 to 15 consistently guy that also bangs and plays on a third or fourth line, like
he's been in and out of the lineup, and he's got 6 now.
Right. So
I mean,
he could, but yeah, that's actually
conceivably if he was playing in a higher role and getting more minutes because he's playing well and he played every game, 20 goals, playing, he's good defensively. Like I don't know, I could see him as a good third liner. Like I could see it happening. I can see him maybe plays 14, 15 minutes a night and he ends up with 20. He's Calle Ehrenkrok-ish, but big and strong. So I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, the Leafs have a whole shit ton of people out. And it's not going to get any better because it's the dog days of the season and everybody's injured and everybody's getting sick. Because if you haven't gotten sick yet, then you're about to get sick. It's that time of the year when the weather's changing. So
Joseph Wall, though, practicing. So we might be getting someone back.
Videos of that? See the videos of that? He still looked a little gingerly on his leg.
Oh,
now, obviously, he's not going to try too hard, but I still don't think he's like a week away. I think we're looking at 2-3 weeks away, maybe 2 weeks anyways. He won't be around for the next 7, 10, 15 days, I think.
That's fine with me, though. If we get him within, I've been so worried about the high ankle sprain part of this injury that it's just like such a tough injury to gauge time. It's so hard to come back from. So like, even if he's back within a month, I'd be happy. But 15 days is probably very realistic to see. Maybe he's coming in as the backup, or we'll see. But.
Yeah. So we got the Flyers coming to town on Thursday for the second game of a 3-game homestand for the Leafs. Do you think Marner, JT will be back for those games from being sick. And what do you think we're going to need to see for a win against Philly? Because they're not exactly scrubs this year.
I mean, history tells us that hockey players recover quickly from illness if it's something quick, but just hopefully it's something quick and they're back. But I mean, what do we need to see is what we saw tonight. Just like a, whole team performance, everyone buying in defensively, and, and
do you think we're going to see that if you got JT and Marner back? Do you think we'll get that full vibes performance again?
I mean, I think so. I think that a lot of it's behind Riley. It's like a rally because we've lost Riley situation, and I know that Tavares and Marner are important as well, but I'd say that Riley's he might be the most important player on the Leafs, probably second or third actually, but the most important defenseman. So I think it's a rally around him regardless.
So this first game should be retroactive, right? Like this first game counted.
Oh, it is.
Okay. So then that's game 2 for Riley. So we still got 3 more after that without Morgan Riley. So we will see a bit of a shakeup. More William Lagesson. He looked good. There was a few times tonight I liked what he did with the puck. Instead of just throwing it away, he held on to it, made a good play with it. Be exciting to see how the Leafs come together for the next couple of games without Morgan Riley. With JT and Marner back, I can't imagine it's going to be the same underdog theme going into the next few games. As I said, Philly aren't scrubs, but they are mid.
Yeah.
And
so is
after... so are the Leafs. Yeah, no shit, eh? Yeah. St. Louis is mid. Yeah, the Flyers are mid. Yeah, but so are the Leafs. Yeah, fair enough. It's like we're battling against equal opponents.
Yep.
Anyways, as always, we will be here back post-game to chat with you. But for now, that's a wrap. Thank you for listening. Thank you for commenting. Hit that like button. If you really like us, subscribe on YouTube. Leave us a review if you can. That would be awesome. Find us on X at STDP Hockey and search for Split the Defense on all other socials. Until next time, peace.
Peace.
Thanks for tuning in to Split the Defense.
Split the Defense.
Leafs Postgame Edition. Hosted by Jordan Webster, Craig Pearce, and producer Ted Evans. Split the Defense is presented by LaForest Electrical Contractors. Professional and efficient service since 2004, serving the Kingston and surrounding areas.